Hi, welcome. I'm Chris Waddle. I'm the Director of Leadership and Spiritual Life at the Mind and Spirit Counseling Center, formerly known as the Des Moines Pastoral Counseling Center, and I really appreciate you coming out tonight. Deb, thank you so much. We've been planning this for a long time. You have been generous with your time and your resources and your gift to share your story, and I appreciate you taking your time to give of yourself and to the center and the work here. I also want to thank Walnut Hills United Methodist Church for hosting us, and for those of you who are working the sound today, thank you. I have to say, my son was baptized right there, so that's the fun. So I was overwhelmed with emotion when I came here. I have not been here in a while, so in some ways this feels like home to me. So it's good to be here. And thanks everyone for coming out today. If you would like to support the work of PrairieFire and that PrairieFire community, there are different ways you can do that. You can give cash here. You can write a check to the Mind and Spirit Counseling Center, and in your memo line you can write PrairieFire Fund. You can give online, and then there's a field that asks for how you would like to dedicate your gift, and then you could say for the PrairieFire Fund. You could buy a book. You can buy a CD. You can even donate a book to clients at the center for those that might benefit from Deb's story and what she shares there. So many ways that you can support. If you'd like to know more about PrairieFire, there is a handout you can grab. And if you really want to know more, you can sign up for Keep Me in the Know. And I assure you, we will keep you in the know until you say, I don't want to be in the know anymore, or you're a part of PrairieFire. Because you will stay on that list, because what we find is people say no 3 or 4 times before they say yes. But when they say yes, often it changes their lives. And we believe there's a timing to this community that we call PrairieFire. And so if you're even thinking about it, we won't bombard you, but you'll get information about the cohort and also opportunities to grow spiritually through the center. And if you ever decide you're getting more emails than you want, just let us know. We can take you off that list too. So we don't want to bombard you, but we want you to know what's going on. I also want to share a couple more things. We are this year hoping to expand the amount of spiritual direction that we do at the center. And so if you are looking for a spiritual director, or if you know someone that might appreciate spiritual direction, grab one of these handouts and share it with them, because we have a lot of really good folks at the center, and also some colleagues that are in a relationship with the center that this is their ministry, this is their gift to the world. And we'd like to connect you or someone you love with somebody to walk with them through their spiritual journey. And finally, one other handout you might find helpful is just a list of a number of services that we have. It says for faith leaders and congregations, but we also do some of these services for nonprofits and groups. We do team building, we do conflict intervention, anything that has to do with helping people live in relationship with others, with their deep true selves, with God. We have people who are good at that. So that's all I'm going to say about that. Is the information's out there. The rest of the time I want to be Deb's today. So thank you.
Hello. Hello, everyone. Thanks for coming out, and I'm so excited to be here. Deb Kline is a great friend, and she's also someone for whom I have a lot of respect. She's a terrific writer. She has a compelling life story, and she's willing to share it and able to share it in a variety of forms: music, speech. Do you dance? I don't know. Yes, you do. Okay. Just checking. She dances. So we're blessed to have her here today. She's going to share today her healing journey as a survivor of childhood incest, a survivor of teen rape, a survivor of attempted suicide at age 21. She has overcome depression, bipolar type 2, PTSD, and dissociative amnesia. Since healing her past trauma, Deb has enjoyed nearly 20 years of healthy and happy living. Now in her mid-50s, Deb is an entrepreneur, owning and operating Wellspring Wellness LLC since 2006. As an energy healer, she graduated from the East Wind School of Holistic Healing and is a member of the Associated Bodywork and Massage Professionals. And as a spiritual director, she graduated from the PrairieFire program and is a member of Spiritual Directors International. Prior to this, she earned degrees from Iowa State and Upper Iowa universities. Most recently, Deb published her memoir, Forgetting to Remember, A Healer's Journey of Surviving and Thriving, and is kicking off her new venture as a fundraising troubadour. I love that phrase. I might steal it and give you credit. Fundraising troubadour with today's concert. Her goal is to share her healing story and singer-songwriter talents as personal philanthropy, helping to raise revenue for organizations and scholarship funds that promote healing in body, mind, and spirit. And I must say, as someone who's been involved in PrairieFire and has found it life-changing, that there's not a better cause than this one. We want to thank our concert supporters. Today's concert is brought to you by donations of time, goods, and services, and funding from our generous sponsors. And those include Chris Waddle and Andrea Severson and Mind and Spirit Counseling Center, Pastor Nate Nims and Walnut Hills United Methodist Church, Alice Meyer and Beaverdale Books, Anna McCracken and the Writer Ames Writers Collective, Lisa Hovis and Photosynthesis, Wellspring Wellness, Urbandale, Hy-Vee, Great Cookies. Please join me in a round of applause to appreciate our sponsors and thank them for making this concert happen. And now, please welcome Deb Kline.
Thanks, Diane. Diane, you didn't introduce yourself. This is Diane Glass. She's my writing mentor, and she has her own books and poetry, and you're doing Poetry Palooza in first weekend in April. So I have some additional thank yous, if you can stand any more thanking. I want to thank Diane Glass for introducing me and just for being wonderful to me. And Mary Nilsson couldn't be here today. She has COVID, and she was going to come, but she was my publisher that Diane introduced me to at Zion Publishing. Jeff Means is here, and he was a book reader for my book and wrote a nice little blurb, as did Diane. Kathy Reardon is here, and she also encouraged my writing when I was in the PrairieFire program and said, you should write more. So I wrote some more. Thank you, Kathy. And then Mark Slagle is doing some photography. You'll see him coming around and shooting some photos, so thank you for doing that. Barbie Greenlaw lent me this beautiful Martin guitar of hers because mine was being fitted with a hookup, and it didn't get done until today. So thank you, Barbie. And then Maggie Ostinger, she's up there and doing the sound for me today. So thank you for doing that. So. So there are two parts to this program. The first half, we're going to deal with some of the trauma and the healing aspects of things, but we will balance the bitter and the sweet, so we will always end on a high note. Then you can have 10 minutes to get some cookies and stretch your legs, come back here, and for the second half of the concert, we will be dealing with loss and love, and again, ending on a high note. So the first song I'm going to do for you is called Who I Am. It's represented in the book twice as poems. I have poems dividing each of the chapters. And the chorus is one of the poem chapter dividers, and one of the verses also serves as a poem. So I'm just going to read you a couple of things that contributed to the chorus of this song. And this first one is from the chapter On a Given Sunday. Just as Sunday mornings are for church, and Sunday afternoons are for Mom's scrumptious pot roast dinners, Sunday evenings are for devouring fistfuls of popcorn and watching the wonderful world of Disney on TV in living color. Dad makes the best popcorn, using an aluminum pan with a flat lid on the stove. To keep the kernels from burning, he shakes the pan. As the popcorn starts to lift the lid, he dumps part of the white fluff into the large yellow Pyrex bowl and returns to shaking the pan until the corn is all popped to perfection. Then Dad melts the butter and drizzles it ever so evenly across the top layer of popcorn. And that's when the magic begins. With a quick flick of his wrists, the popcorn arcs up above the bowl and lands back within, shifting the top kernels to the bottom and the bottom kernels to the top. More butter drizzling, more tossing of popcorn. He can get it to fly amazingly high before catching it on the rebound, rarely missing a single piece. This next reading is about birthdays. Birthdays in our family manifest as shindigs, and the birthday star declares the theme by selecting a cake design. Amongst her cookbooks, Mom keeps catalogs of cutout cakes for us kids to choose from, which include color pictures of the finished creations and step-by-step instructions on how to make them. I recall perusing the pages with excitement, finding just the right cake to celebrate my upcoming birthday party. For my party when I turn 4, I choose Mother Goose. And for the age of 5, I pick Raggedy Ann again. My older brother selects a train, and my younger brother opts for a clown. And by the time we all reach the age of 18, I wonder, between the three of us, if there is any cake pictured left unmade. Proof of each cake for both me and my brothers is tucked away in a photo album on a shelf of Mom's organized collection of pictures commemorating all family celebrations in order of occurrence. Mom recreates each cake perfectly, buys complimentary napkins and decorations to match, and sets up the idyllic display in the formal dining room, complete with a lacy tablecloth and a crystal punch bowl. So this song is called Who I Am. It helps if you remember your song. She was married but had no husband. He was married but had no wife. Raised 3 kids, resembled a family less than their chosen now we're going to jump it back in time for a little bit of the bitter. So this chapter is called Joyride, and it was a song before it was a chapter in my book. And I think it was the hardest chapter to edit because I was editing my trauma. But I'll read you a little bit of what happened, and the song will finish it. It'll be easier to digest that way. The summer between 7th and 8th grades, Leanne has yet to see my new wheels, and I am as eager to show them off as eager as I am to ride my bike to see her again. With school out of session, friend visits are few and far between. We agree to eat lunch at her house and then spend the rest of the afternoon together. I can't wait. Today, I wear my new lavender knit shorts, matching t-shirt top, and tube socks with 3 parallel lavender stripes just below the knee. I tie on my Nike tennis shoes, which Leanne also has yet to see, and head out the garage door with my still shining, still new 10 speed. My bike and I conquer the hill again, this time heading south and coasting around the fork, doubling back towards Bluffs Park. Once I get to the park entrance, I'll be halfway there, and then I'll hang a left off of the pavement and onto Lenae's gravel road for the remaining 2 miles. So far, I'm midway to the park. Here comes a dark, rusted-out pickup truck blaring country music, which adds to the noise of an unmuffled exhaust pipe. As the rumbling vehicle approaches me in the oncoming lane, I try to make out, is the truck black or is it blue? It's so dirt-caked I can't tell. The 3 boys in the cab hang out the open windows, whistle and whoop. Hey, baby, looking good. I'm flattered that boys old enough to drive would pay any attention to me. I might have been okay if I had ignored them, but that's not what I do. I give them a broad smile and a 2-handed wave, balancing as I cruise without using the handlebars. Pleased with myself, I keep pedaling hands-free as they zoom past me, giving me a few horn honks and hollers. I don't recognize these boys. The Texas license plates make me assume they are on vacation, here to visit someone local. I wish this was the end of the story. I wish I could meet up with my friend, Leanne, and impishly tell her the story of the 2 older Texas teens noticing me. But no. This is called Joyride. And that's a song, every time I sing it, I feel like I take back my power. It's like, yes. So that incident happened on a Saturday morning, and by Saturday afternoon when my family came home, I'd already forgotten about it. That's how fast I blocked that memory. And so when I got into 8th grade, they had guitar class, and I was like, woohoo, I'm going to learn how to play the guitar. And that's what I learned. And I wrote a song in guitar class, and this writing is about that. And this is from the chapter, The Heart of a Musician. Like my study of the piano, I start making up guitar chord progressions with hummed melody lines. In addition to strumming the chords, Mr. Crown teaches us some arpeggio string-plucking patterns. From there, I construct a melancholy lullaby without words. And, like my original piano songs, it soothes the ever-growing shadow monster into submission. I dub it the hummed lullaby. The title and lyrics to this song don't come right away, not until I've more than doubled my age. And so when I have more than doubled my age, this is from the Forgetting to Remember chapter, my songs breathed new life through my guitar during this composition download period as well. The arpeggio composition from 8th grade that I'd always hummed the tune to now had words. The acoustic lullaby became Waiting for Rain, the lyrics about wanting to cry, needing to cry, and finally being able to. I knew the wounded 13-year-old in me wrote this song too. The music then and the words now. The lasting, soothing melody beckoned new meaning. So I'm going to hum the first verse to honor that teenager. Waiting for rain, sultry moods swell like held breath, clouds rolling in, exhaling the sky's ocean like the teardrops in my mind. Sorrow seeps through lashes fine, till the beads burst spilling the heart's desire. Pregnant with flood, cascading pools skimming soggy ground, sorrow flows. I mentioned that I didn't remember my trauma until my 30s. And so this poem that I wrote in college and this next song that I wrote also in college, you can tell that things are starting to bubble to the surface, but I still have no idea what's going on within me. And so I'll share this poem with you. There's something new, yet something old in my closet. It's behind the clothes that mask my mood and project a someone. It's behind the collectibles salvaged from my childhood. It's a big, dark space I'm afraid to enter, a space feeling far too familiar to be comfortable. Why haven't I seen it before now? Surely it's been there all along, though invisible to denying eyes. Shoot glances in its direction, but my eyes quickly dart away. There's something new, yet something old in my closet, a dark, terrifying void. I can't bear the thought of it being there. I'm hiding in these four walls that are myself, that I built to keep them out, and I can see daylight through the cracks, but it's too bright. I blink it back and wonder, how could I construct a cage so cruel, almost as bad as what they did to me? And where's my strength to break it down? Am I as strong as when I built? Four walls are closing in on me. I'd disappear if I could breathe. So I puff and huff to blow them down. But from within, there is no sound. And in this mausoleum, that's my soul, will it die too? Like lab rats do when they're put in a space too small to live. What I would give to be the size of one, so that I could slip through these cracks of mine and view the world from the outside. And I would give anything to be anything but these four walls that are me. Here's a little bit more of the bitter from the chapter, A Not So Uncommon Occurrence. At night, I have no choice whether or not I play this special game with Dad. He wanders into my room unannounced whenever he likes and snuggles into bed alongside me. It's not every night, but his visits come in bunches and then lapses and then bunches again. The details of these fondling exchanges blur together. I find it a blessing when the memories return that I have few detailed memories to encounter. The nighttime versions of the special game get interrupted and end abruptly whenever we hear my mom get up and walk down the hallway to use the bathroom. As soon as the bathroom door closes, my dad sneaks back into his own bed before Mom is finished. I hear their muffled voices when she returns. My dad says that I'd had a nightmare or needed a drink of water or some other lie as to why he was in my room. This is called Daddy's Sin. You look so different now with your Jesus smile, but it cannot erase the grin of disgrace. Where is your God now? Why wasn't he looking out for me? Where is God now? Wipe away the grin. Would not forgive the sin. What do I tell the little girl who's lived through your hell world? Who can she turn to? She's only ever looked up to you. Who can I turn to? The kiss of death you gave was a secret for my grave. But now I'm the one who's born again in a way you'll never understand. You need your God now, for only he will forgive. I choose to live. This next reading is from Anger, My Superpower. By the time I finished it, Enraged, my angriest piano song, had channeled my power with a rush of force. But to start, I slumped over the keyboard heavy-hearted. Dredging up my buried rage was like digging up a grave, excavating layers of grief, examining the decayed remains. I scribbled words in my spiral-bound notebook before touching an ivory key. A pattern emerged of 4 couplet phrases with a triplet at the end. He'll flee from the danger he claims doesn't exist. He'll flee from the anger he claims doesn't exist. He'll get off with a slap on the wrist. He'll get off with a yank of his wrist. What are you running from? What are you hiding from? Don't you deny me my rage. My doodling fingers fleshed out some D minor chord progressions in a rhythmic 6/8 time with the running bass line of a tippy carnival ride. The voiced melody arose on its own, a solo above the chords. The first 4 lines became the first verse, while the triplet naturally divided itself from the rest, and by adding repetitions became the bridge and chorus. What are you running from? Repeated, as did what are you hiding from, together forming the bridge, leaving a triply repeated chorus to cast the spell of don't you deny me my rage. I need a drink before I get enraged. He'll flee from the danger he claims doesn't exist. And he'll flee from the anger he claims doesn't exist. He'll get off with a slap on the wrist. He'll get off with a yank of his wrist. But I said, what are you running from? What are you running from? What are you hiding from? What are you hiding from? Don't you deny me my rage. Don't you deny me my rage. Don't you deny me my rage. He'll claim to be falsely accused of the crime. But he is the mastermind of the perfect crime. Inside, his victim is crying all of the time. Inside, I hope he's crying all of the time. But I said, what are you crying for? What are you crying for? Is it worth dying for? Is it worth dying for? Don't you deny me my rage. Don't you deny me my rage. Don't you deny me my rage. You can lie to yourself, but you can't lie to me. You can lie to them all, but you can't lie to me. I live the pain you infested in me. I feel the pain you incested in me. But I said, what are you lying for? What are you lying for? My mic fell off. Ad. I don't know if I can get it back on to stay. There we go. Is it worth dying for? Is it still on? Is it worth dying for? Don't you deny me my rage. Don't you deny me my rage. Don't you deny me my rage. That's my most rambunctious one. This next one is called Listen to Me, and it's the first 3 verses are a poem divider in the book. to me. Do you know what a little girl said to me? I tried to tell you like I tried to tell them too. No one would listen. Guess it don't matter anyway. Why get mad at me? I didn't do this thing. This unthinkable thing was done to me. And I couldn't stop it. And I often wished I'd died. But no one could listen. Guess it don't matter anyway. There was a monster who lived in our house. He was the beast, and I his beauty. Well, he plucked my beauty out from right between my legs. No one would hear him. No one could hear him. No one heard him. Why does it take so long to see these things when they've been here all along? Well, I'm here to save you like I should have done before. I will listen. I will listen. Yes, I'm listening. You mean the world to me. This is called It's Okay Now. It's okay now. Time has passed. Healing's come. And I'm okay now. My life has just begun. And I forgive you, even though what you did what you say? And how can we rebuild a bridge so many miles away? Maybe hope in agreeing to disagree. But can't you find it in your heart to just believe in me? And I forgive you, even though what you did is not okay. And I still love you beyond my dying day. It's okay now. Time has passed, healing's come. I'm okay now. My life has just begun. What happens when you have real mics and real sound systems, but you don't have them at home? So we're going to end this first half. I promised you a high note. This song is called Every Little Piece of Me, and the chorus of this song is one of the poem chapter dividers in my book. I'm not broken, but there are pieces of me scattered everywhere. Perhaps you've seen me in a cloud, a tree, or looking in your mirror. Our separateness enjoy some cookies and buy some books or have a leg stretch. We'll be back here in 10 minutes. Am I back on? Yes, I am. So up until now, I've been doing all the singing, and I don't think that's fair. And I want to honor this lovely space by having us sing a hymn together. And you probably might recognize the tune if you grew up in any of the Christian churches, or if you know Peter Mayer. And so we're going to sing Blue Boat Home together. The screen is going to project the words so that you can sing along with me. And I do have special permission from Pete to perform this song at my fundraising events. So there's no worries that he's going to sue me. And I think Pete's going to be at the UU Church here in Des Moines on December 3rd. What time is it? 7:30, yeah. You don't want to miss that. So this is Blue Boat Home. Please sing along. Though below me I feel no motion, standing on these mountains and plains, far away from the rolling ocean, still my dry land heart can say, I've been sailing all my life now, never harbor or port have I known. The wide universe, here's the ocean I travel, and the earth is my blue boat home. Sun my sail and moon my rudder, as I ply the starry sea, leaning over the edge in wonder, casting questions into the deep, drifting here with my ship's companions, all we kindred pilgrim souls, making our way by the lights of the heavens in our beautiful blue boat home. I give thanks to the waves upholding me, hail the great winds urging me on, greet the infinite sea before me, sing the sky my sailor's song. I was born upon the fathoms, never harbor or port have I known. The wide universe is the ocean I travel, and the earth is my blue boat home. The wide universe is the ocean I travel, and the earth is my blue boat home. Give yourselves a hand. Nice job. These next few songs are appropriate for a church setting. I told you that this half would be about loss and love. And this song I wrote after my grandpa passed away to express that grief I was feeling. And the accompaniment is reminiscent for me of church bells, because we were with him when he passed, and I swear we all looked out the window, we heard church bells. This is called A Moment Ago. A moment ago, you were sleeping. A moment ago, you were silently speaking. A moment ago is too long, when it's now that you're gone. Now your hand is moment ago, it was warm to hold, and I was there to watch you go. And that was just a moment ago. A moment ago is too long when it's now that you're gone. Ago is too long when it's now that you're gone. A moment ago is too long when it's now. From now on, this next reading is from On a Given Sunday. My parents, high school sweethearts in the late 50s, got married soon after my mom graduated from high school, as my dad had graduated the year prior. They exchanged traditional marriage vows at the altar of my mom's family's Lutheran church, and before long, Dad joins this LCA denomination. I am baptized here and confirmed here. Because of this church community, I attend summer Bible camp away from home for a week, several summers in a row. With my Sunday school classmates, I compete in girls' basketball and softball leagues, and I join the youth group for lock-ins, teen overnights in church basements, mingling with kids from other LCA churches. Here are my first musical opportunities: singing in the children's chorus and the youth choir, ringing handbells and piping with the recorder ensemble, all of which blend in as part of the worship services. Much of my young life revolves around this congregation and the generations of my mother's side of the family who attend with us. So these, the last song, this one, and a few others have never been performed before. This song has never been performed before, but it's 40 years old. Because I wrote it to honor my confirmation, and I never sang it for anybody. So yeah, I thought this would be an appropriate place for the debut of my song called He Lives. Lord, what did we do? We didn't just deny you. We crucified you. What should we do now, Lord? The killing's done. It's over. Will you damn us now forever? How could we nail you to the cross when you were one of us? Oh Lord, how could this happen? too late for sorrow. What'll we all do tomorrow? How could we nail you to the cross when you were one with us? Oh Lord, why did this happen? What have we done? But wait, look, who's standing there? How can it be? It's my Lord. How is it that he survived? We all watched him die, but he lives. Yes, he lives. He lives. Hallelujah. 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 He lives. He lives. He lives. He lives. Now I'm going to read from my favorite chapter in the book, My Twin Soul. It's all about my great-grandmother, and I didn't realize as I was authoring this that I would get to introduce my great-grandma, my favorite person in the world, to everyone. And what a bonus, man. She was awesome. So I'm going to read. It's also my favorite story in the book is the one I'm going to read. Gangly-limbed boys and girls take over the backyard between the terraced stone wall and the alleyway. Batter up, Big Bro says. Or in this case, kick her up would be more appropriate. He recruits us in a 3-on-3 kickball game. 2 large sticks suffice as first and third bases, and home plate is the loose rock at the base of the low stone retaining wall. Second base is the smooth stone face under the lilac tree, grown beyond a bush for decades, never cut back. Its blooms waft lavender sweetness in the air. We kids are unsupervised, save for great-grandma snagging the laundry off of the clothesline located in what would be the stadium seats of the third baseline. Teams are a fair mix of ages and genders. My brothers, Little Bro 7 and Big Bro 13, sport matching bowl cuts, brunette and blonde respectively, compliments of my mother. Cousin Lynn, 8, with shoulder-length dishwater blonde hair, joins them in the field. Up to kick is my team, me, age 10, with light blonde bangs and pigtails. Eric, also 10, with cropped, unruly reddish-brown curls. And Anne, nearly 8, with her Dorothy Hamill do. It is Anne's turn to kick, but as is often the case, she is tired and doesn't want to play anymore. She slumps under the shade of a maple tree with her little sister, our youngest cousin, Sue, aged 4. Sue, being both the smallest and recovering from congenital hip dysplasia, gleefully leads cheers on the sidelines for both teams. Anne is content to share Sue's shady spot away from the playing field. Despite our peer pressure, please, Anne remains rooted to the lawn ledge. With uneven teams, Big Bro declares, "I'll be the all-time pitcher for both teams." "I have a better idea," I announce and holler over my shoulder. "Come on, great-grandma, you can make the teams even. Come play on my team," I beg her to join. Her silvery bun there glistens, while her skin-draped arms dismantle the hanging sun-baked bedding long since stripped dry. "Oh, no," she chuckles. "I don't know how to play." "It's easy, Grandma. You just kick the ball and run around the bases," I reassure her. She continues to protest through giggles that hint possibility, as one by one the calico sheets appear to dance off the clothesline and fold themselves into a wicker basket by her simple sleight of hand. These pastel linens match what I imagine would have befit the bed of the Easter Bunny before being faded by age and wear. "It will be fun," I insist, as my hand grasps hers and leads her away from the nearly nostalgic shore, and the kids chime in agreement. Her laughter drifts nearer the playing field as she takes off her apron and drapes it over the neatly folded laundry pile. Great-grandma always wears dresses, no matter the occasion. She owns neither shorts nor slacks, not to mention sneakers. If chores warrant a red print dress and stout black heels, so must a sporting event. Through her chuckles, she insists, "I've never played sports, not even as a young girl. I don't know why in heaven's name I should start now, not at my age. I'm 87, you know." "I know, great-grandma, and you're not too old. It's easy. You just kick the ball and run around the bases." I can feel her lighthearted nature and the kid within her giving in to temptation. I coach her one last rundown of the game's rules, and she steps up to the plate. Big Bro rolls the large swirl blue dime star ball right under her high kick step. "Strike one!" Her chuckles rise into chortles. Little Bro and Lynn instinctively move closer infield as our team shouts encouraging words. Big Bro pitches the ball along the grass a bit slower, and bam! Grandma's foot makes contact. The indigo orb sails over Big Bro's head, and its trajectory sends Little Bro into the alleyway after it. "Run, Great-Grandma, run!" my team cheers. "Oh, okay." She shakes free of her amazed daze and takes off running, straight to third base. Perhaps my directions should have been a little more specific. I did say just kick the ball and run around the bases, and she did. Grandma continues her clockwise jaunt to the lilac tree, second base, whooping with deep belly guffaws that would rival Santa. Whoa-ho-ho, whoa-ho-ho, whoa-ho-ho. Meanwhile, the fielders purposely miss their attempts to throw her out at each base. The contralto whoa-ho-ho is a continuous chorus as she rounds first and completes her reverse home run to an eruption of cheers. So the next story about her in this chapter is about the words that she graced me with on her deathbed and in her passing. And so this song represents the words she said to me before she left this world. It's called Grandma's Promise. Where I'm going, you can't follow, but it's a place of light and love. And in a lifetime, you will meet me, and it will be like I'd never even gone. But until then, remember what I've said, and let your light shine for all the world to see. 'Cause cold November won't escape me, and I'll be gone with December's embrace. Please be from me, living a legacy. Keep my love alive, not buried. be where I am now. And when your time comes, I'll be waiting with open wings to welcome you home. And don't you shed a tear, 'cause I'll always be here in your heart, mind and soul. And please be for me my living legacy, keeping my love alive, not buried in your heart, mind, and soul. That song is also 40 years old. New to you, a golden oldie to me. So there are different kinds of grief and loss, in addition to losing our loved ones here on earth. Sometimes it's lost love. And so this is about the boy I followed to college, Iowa State University. Between my weekly appointments with the staff psychologist and my daily dose of antidepressants, the shadow monster and I managed to trek off to class and scribble homework assignments in the hustle and bustle of sidewalk mazes and the study lounges of inquiring minds. As for Sean and me, the highs and lows of our romance match my mood swings. When I'm doing well, so are we. When I'm not so good, neither are we. In mere months, the upswings stall, and we wallow in the murky downs. In the sea of our love, Sean floats on a life preserver, but I swim without one and cling to him for dear life, not letting go. Depression is like an anchor shackled to my ankle, and Sean alone keeps me afloat. He resists my pulling him down, 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 but cuts me loose to save himself. He must, or he'll sink with me. Together forever with Sean doesn't happen. Together lasts not quite 3 years. This is the song I wrote to keep him from breaking up with me. It's called Don't Let Go. I know that you think we're over, but I know you're wrong. How can our love be over when it burns so strong? I know you're afraid to love me, 'cause I hurt you before. But how could I know you were hurting? You closed the door. We've been through so much together. We deserve to win. Let's share our hearts with each other. Find where to begin. Don't be afraid to love me. I won't hurt you anymore. Just tell me when you're hurting. Open the door. For all I want is to be best. That's you. Please try once more. Some people never find true love or the one they left behind. We can't let true love slip away, or we'll both regret it someday. Hang on, don't let go. We both know that it's not over. Deep down we know it's true. I know that you'll always love me, and I'll love you too. We both know each other too well to just let it end. Don't let your fears come between us. We can be more than friends, for all I want is to be in love with you, much better than before. I won't settle for less than the best. That's you. Please try once more. Hold me in your arms one more time and let me know that you're mine. I'll take you just as you are. Who could ask for more? Hang on, don't let go of me. Don't let go of me. The song didn't work. But I don't know if you noticed, I didn't realize this till years later. I played 2 songs back to back, and I realized I had plagiarized myself. So if that song sounded familiar, it's because 2 songs ago, when He Lives, it's the exact same accompaniment, and then the new song just has a different bridge and a different melody. And so maybe that's why you shouldn't plagiarize yourself in your own song, because then it takes the magic away, I guess. But alas, not all is lost, and I shall read from the chapter, Happily Ever After. Autumn leaves twirled freely in the breeze, swirling with snowflake flurries, as I trekked through my second year on the university campus as a single, eligible co-ed. One particularly defeating Friday, after class and before choir, I tried to think, out of all of my college friends, who was the one person who could make me laugh just then? Kendall immediately came to mind. He sang bass in our choir and plucked funny jokes and observations out of the air, batting them into casual conversations with perfect aim and timing. He was likable in a light-hearted kind of way that made me feel safe and simultaneously amused. We had never done anything one-on-one before, but I decided to invite him to hang out after rehearsal. I really needed to laugh and to not be alone. He was surprised that I singled him out, but accepted. We opted for pizza and a video in his dorm room. Yellowbeard was the movie of choice because Madeline Kahn, whom I adored, was pictured on the box with a cast of swashbuckling Monty Python pirates, and I wanted to see something silly and dumb just for fun. The movie did not disappoint, neither in its silliness nor in its dumbness. What started out as a casual evening of laughing between friends ended up in an all-night exchange bearing of souls. Kendall was easy to talk to, and we developed a genuine fondness for each other in sharing our life stories into the wee hours past curfew. With our first kiss, the sparks flew, and that clinched it. We were a couple. This is Kendall's song. just the beginning. And I've often been here before, but I can't help the way I feel. This time I am so sure. So if I put my trust in you, how can we go wrong? We'll have our love together to make us strong. It took some time to realize that broken hearts do mend. Now that my heart is healed, we can begin. So if you put your trust in me, how can we go wrong? We'll have our love together to make us strong, and we'll live our dreams now that they've come true. Never ever doubting that I was meant for you, and you were meant for me too. Now that I've found you, how could I let go? Your heart's the truest love that mine has ever known. So if we put our trust in us, how can we go wrong? We'll have our love together to make us strong, and we'll live our dreams now that they've come true. Never ever doubting that I was meant for you, and we'll live our dreams now that they've come true. Never ever doubting that I was meant for you, and you were meant for me too. I've never played that one publicly before either. There are also other kinds of losses to recover from when you're healing. I'm going to play a song. It's called Almost Home Again. And for a long time, I didn't feel at home in my own skin. Later, I didn't feel at home in my own family after I remembered everything. And so this song is kind of about reclaiming that sense of home within myself, within the world. And it also has a broader message. We're just temporarily here for a while. And where is home? A moment ago, there was a place called home. In the stars before we're born. And life is a place between time and space to fit organic form. We're more than meets the eye. Hearts living earth and sky. from this song is one of the poem dividers in the book. It says, "Mirror, mirror on the wall, that's not really me at all." And in the spirit of the chapter, it's taken out of context to sound kind of, foreboding. But really what this song is about, it's about reclaiming that person looking in the mirror back at me. There was a long time during my teens where looking in the mirror was terrifying. I was afraid that shadow monster thing would come out, through my eyes, and I just knew there was something in there that didn't belong, and I thought it was me, and it wasn't. But so there's that part of this song of reclaiming, and then also when I finally did reclaim that mirror image of me, I realized that what I was looking at was ancestors, future beings, everything in the world kind of united in this speck of me. And so that's also what this song is about, called Mirror. Up one. Sometimes this happens when I sing a lot, my voice gets higher. Mirror, mirror on the wall, that's not really me at all. Mirror, mirror, can't you see something much more grand than me? And while I live, I'll dance and play in your reflection, come what may. And when I die, step into you, become a mystery and truth. Who's that gazing back at me from the surface of the sea? Does she know that she was born far beyond the ocean floor? And while she frolics in the waves, she splashes me to my amaze. Suddenly we two are one, mist of water and sun. Is it so hard to believe an alternate reality lies just beneath what senses can perceive? Always felt there's something more, something further to explore if we can find and open that door. What in the TV did I see? Sick fields of society, illusions of who we are, junk food feeding our despair. I turn it off and take a walk, breezes blow off culture shock. I need to breathe my nature home, walking solo, not alone. Is it so hard to believe an alternate reality lies just beneath what senses can perceive? Always felt there's something more, something further to explore if we can find open that door. So I pray to God in me, in every star in the galaxy, to unveil life's mystery, that all of we are truly thee. And while we live, we'll dance and play in your reflection, come what may. When we die, step into you, become mystery and truth. Oh, mirror, mirror on the wall, that's not really me at all. Mirror, mirror, can't you see something much more grand than just me? I'm going to ask you to help me with this last song that we're going to do. I'm going to have you sing the chorus. Amy knows the chorus. Sing real loud, Amy, except for I'm going to be singing higher because I got this capo higher. The song is called Heidi Ho, and it's the nickname of a girl that I worked with. She lived in a group home, and I knew her from grade school through high school, and she didn't get the opportunity to graduate. And so I wrote this song in memory of her and her spirit, and she was just a pistol. So her lesson was unconditional love. And so she was quick to forgive anyone of everything. And she said, I'm sorry a lot because she needed to be forgiven a lot. So it's unconditional love kind of both ways, where it's a good thing she bought into it because she needed it too. All in lighthearted good ways. But she'd come home from the bus and she'd throw open the door and she'd say, hi ho, and we'd say, hi Heidi ho. And it was just a daily thing. So that's how we get the chorus of this song. The chorus of the song is Heidi ho. And so you just have to figure out how many Heidis there are before the final ho at the end of each phrase. But I'm going to sing it for you. It's not as hard as it sounds. And then I'm going to teach it to you too, so don't worry. Singing, Heidi, 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 ho. Heidi, 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 ho. Heidi, 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 ho. Heidi, 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 ho. Heidi, 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 ho. Heidi, 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 ho. Feel free to sing it an octave lower. So, we're going to sing, I'll sing, and then you repeat after me. Singing, Heidi, 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 ho. Heidi, 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 ho. Heidi, 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 ho. Heidi, 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 ho. The next two phrases are exactly the same as what you just sang. Heidi, 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 ho. Heidi, 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 ho. Heidi, 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 ho. Heidi, 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 ho. Now it gets a little different. Heidi, Heidi, Heidi. Can you do that part? Heidi, 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 oh. Heidi, Heidi, oh. And then Heidi, 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 oh. Heidi, Heidi, oh. We'll sing it enough, you'll catch on, and Amy sing loud. There are always some things other people can't see. I want to thank Heidi for sharing one with me. Life can be uneasy, but she showed to me you can always give love unconditionally. Always give love unconditionally. Singing Heidi, Heidi, that's the last song, I just want to leave you with a little blessing reprise here. We're not broken, we're each shadow and every point of light. Earth and ocean and the lift of a bird taking flight. We are one, it's true. One as we, not just me or you. And every little piece of me is in every little piece of you. And in every little piece of everything. And all I want to do is love every little piece of you, so that I can love every piece of me in everything. In everything. In everything. Thank you.